Well, nice to meet you, sir.
Hi, sir. Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for
Great.
asking, and
Of
thank you for
course.
taking the time to speak with us.
Oh,
If
thank
you
you.
are ready, we can begin.
Absolutely. Fire away, my friend.
Okay. Well, up until now, most of your films have been inspired by the political climate we've been living through for years, as well
Yeah.
as generally unstable situation. However, the home feels like something different. So my question is, what inspired you to tell this story?
Good question, man. It was multiple things I think happening all at once. It was during COVID. My buddy and I, our families were in the same bubble, so we kind of hung out together. He was the only other family we saw because our children played together. So that was Adam, my co-writer, and we were both very nervous about COVID, talking about death. We're both neurotic people, and strange things were happening at the elder care facilities in New York at the time, with a lot of people dying and people feeling like they were mishandling the COVID pandemic. So we were thinking about elder care facilities. We had some strange experiences in our youth at elder care facilities with family members, and I started doing yoga for the first time in my life because my wife thought I needed to get healthy during COVID because I eat a lot of Italian food. And when I was doing, I found yoga on YouTube. My YouTube feed became inundated with longevity videos about getting young, and there seemed to be this unbelievable underground obsession with longevity and getting young. And I think it's bloomed in the years since we wrote the script. People really obsessed with longevity and living to 120 and 130. I keep hearing this in the news. So that, and then the big thing for me that inspired was I feel like for me, the whole movie's a metaphor for climate change. I'm I'm an advocate, obviously. It's a very important thing to me in society, especially I have a young daughter and what's happening to the planet, what previous generations did to the planet, and what in the movie the elder people are doing to the youth of the film. It became a kind of metaphor, a way for me to smuggle in some ideas that I have about climate change, previous generational, hurting our planet, leaving the planet in a certain way for the youth. So all those things came together, but that was my way. I think the Purge is overtly political in that way, but I hope the home has similar layering where the people could find, something on a sub-thematic about climate change and whatnot.
It's really interesting because my second question it was about like that. Despite everything, this film still feels like a mix of social commentary and psychological horror. So, what was the creative process like in blending those two elements without letting one overpower the other?
Uh, I think about that all the time, my friend. Because I don't think people want to be preached to. So the editing process becomes incredibly important. That, I don't want to proselytize and force my issues down people's throats. And, think about climate change. I don't want to be yelling it, because I think people get mad when you preach too much. So it was a tough blend. It's the perfect word. So editing becomes a great juggling act where we're like, okay, first and foremost, we have to entertain, we have to thrill, we have to horrify people. We hopefully got good twists and turns to make people jump and be really surprised at what we're doing. But layering that second level is very important to me. So my editor becomes very integral, even more so than when we're writing it, editing it so it exists in the background on the TVs. We have a lot of TVs in the background, which if you really pay attention, hopefully subconsciously people are hearing what's going on the TVs, and then maybe slowly gets into their DNA that maybe there's something else going on here. Maybe there's a commentary, and maybe it sparks a debate. It sparks a couple of people talking about what does the movie mean? Is there a metaphor here? So yeah, so editing becomes a key way to make sure that you're not preaching or overpowering or just overstepping your place in the movie as a director.
And based on everything we talk about, would you say then the home represents an evolution in your storytelling?
I hope so. I hope so. I always looked at the Purge films as kind of not straight horror. I always look at them as action, more actiony. I was inspired a lot with the Home from Escape from New York and The Warriors and The Road Warrior movies of my youth. I'm much older than you, dating myself. And, so this one I always wanted to do something that was a little more straight horror. With always using my socio-political smuggling like ideas into it, but the surface of the film was more straight psychological horror. So I hope it's an evolution because I think it was actually, I don't want to say it was harder to make than The Purge, but it was definitely I was definitely using different muscles because, we're layering the story, there's twists, there's stuff that I never do in The Purge. The Purge, I always says like a punch in the face. And this, I think it becomes a punch in the face in the third act, the home. But I think up front, we're dealing more with mood and atmosphere and tension, which we don't really do in The Purge. The Purge, we're kind of off and running from the beginning.
And finally, if you allow me, I also like to talk about the Purge 6. A few years ago, it was said that the project was still in development and that Frank Grillo would return. Is there any update on that?
Absolutely. I think I can say I just finished Purge 6, officially finished the script. It's right here. I sent it to Sebastian Lemercier and Jason Blum, the producers. Sebastian's already seen it because he helps me develop it. Jason has the script now, and he's going to give it to the studio. The studio's already heard the idea. They liked it. And not to give too much away, but there's a lot of female characters in this one, and that'll hopefully be a really fun new kind of take, I think, on purging. And but we're hoping next year we're shooting. So very excited.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.